Good day everyone. Today we will presenting the HACCP Plan of Development and Standardization of Garbanzo Keeping. This presentation will walk you through how we applied the principles of hazard analysis and critical control points to ensure food safety, product consistency, and quality throughout every stage of production, from raw materials selection to packaging. Each step has been carefully analyzed to identify potential hazards and implements effective control measures. Our goal is not only to protect consumer health, but also to support the innovation and cultural preservation of these unique, locally inspired snacks. Introduction of the product. The production of garbanzo keeping, a traditional snack made from chickpeas, requires a structured food safety system to ensure product quality, consistency, and consumer safety. This research integrates HACCP principles to standardize the preparation, processing, and packaging of garbanzo keeping. So dito, to achieve this research integrates the principle of hazard analysis and control points into the development of garbanzo keeping. This HACCP is preventive approach that focus on identifying and controlling potential hazards. So, papasok dito yung biological, chemical, and physical hazards. Each stage of production. So this includes everything from the selection and preparation of raw materials to the final steps of packaging. So critical control points such as cooking, drying, and packaging are carefully monitored to maintain food safety and shelf life stability. In this study, critical control points were identified particularly during the cooking, drying, and packaging stage. These points are closely monitored to ensure that any possible hazards are effectively controlled or eliminated. So, proper cooking ensures that harmful microorganisms are destroyed, and while effective drying helps prevent microbial growth and extend shelf life. Packaging, when done under hygienic condition, protects end product from contamination and during storage and distribution. So, by applying HACCP, the goal is not only to safeguard consumer health but also to support the marketability and cultural preservation of garbanzo keeping in innovative plant-based snack rooted in tradition. So by applying HACCP, this study aims not only to ensure food safety but to improve the overall quality and stability of garbanzo keeping. This supports the product's potential for market expansion while honoring its cultural roots. So, standardizing the production process allows garbanzo keeping to be introduced as a safe. Next, product information of raw materials: garbanzo beans, glutinous rice flour, salt, and water. For garbanzo beans, this is the primary ingredients, providing the base flavor and nutritional value, while glutinous rice flour is essential for achieving the desired texture and binding the mixture, while salt enhances the overall taste, and distilled water ensure purify and consistency in the mixture, minimizing the risk of contamination during preparation.
So, the product information for garbanzo keeping outlines is essential characteristics that ensures the quality, safety, and consumer satisfaction. Under physical properties, garbanzo keeping is described as a thin, leaf-shaped or circular chip with a slightly translucent and yellowish appearance. Its texture is crisp when fried and slightly brittle when only sun-dried, while the color range from light yellow to yellow, while the other has a mild nutty aroma typical of the garbanzo beans. The taste is slightly nutty and moisture content is typically low after drying to guarantee shelf stability. The size or thickness of the product usually range between 1 to 2 mm, shape based on the mold used. By shaping the keeping, gamit ang molder, mas nakokontrol po namin yung pag-process nito. The chemical composition of garbanzo keeping reveals its nutritional value and is suitable as a safe, long-lasting snack. The moisture content recorded at 2.96% after drying is significantly low, which is ideal for preventing microbial growth such as bacteria, yeast, and mold. Low moisture content ensures a longer shelf life and safer consumption, especially for dried or fried snack. The protein contains 10.2%, which comes from garbanzo beans known for their high plant-based protein content. This makes the product a nutrition snack, especially for individuals seeking protein-rich alternatives. The fat content listed as 21.8% before drying can increase during frying depending on the type and amount of oil, while fat adds to the flavor and texture. Using healthy oils can help maintain a better nutritional balance. Additionally, the product contains 0.830% ash, which reflects the mineral content and suggests the presence of essential minerals such as iron and magnesium. 64.2% carbohydrates, primarily from complex carbs found in garbanzo beans. These carbs provide long-lasting energy and help with blood sugar stability. According po sa microbiological evaluation, yung product po namin is dumaan po sa malinis na proseso ng production. The coliform count is less than 10 CFU per gram, which reflects excellent hygienic practices during production and handling. This result confirms that the product was processed in clean condition without sign of fecal contamination. The aerobic plate count is 1.2 times 10 raised to 2 CFU per gram, which is well within the acceptable limits for processed food. This low bacterial load indicates that the product is microbiologically sound and was produced under proper sanitary conditions. This result shows that garbanzo keeping is safe to consume when handled and stored correctly. In addition, the yeast and mold count is 2.8 times 10 raised to 2 CFU per gram, which also falls within the acceptable range. These results suggest that proper storage and drying practices were followed to prevent microbial spoilage. Since the garbanzo keeping is a dried snack, it can be susceptible to mold and yeast growth if moisture is not properly controlled.
Product information. Brand name. Keeping Bliss. Bliss evokes indulgence in enjoyment, while keeping gives a cultural, possibly heritage food vibe. Product name. Garbanzo Keeping. Great for traditional yet healthy conscious positioning. Composition and product type. Classified as traditional snack or dry snack. Being a traditional snack gives a cultural and artisanal value which appeals to modern consumers interested in heritage and authentic food. Intended use, ready to eat and serve with sweet toppings. Packaging, stand-up pouch. Shelf life, 6 months if stored properly. Where it will be sold, local markets and festivals. Labeling instructions, keep in a dry place. Distribution condition, room temperature, avoid moisture and direct sunlight. Intended customers is general public, especially health-conscious consumers. Process flow of garbanzo keeping. Number 1. Receiving and inspection of raw garbanzo beans. Beans are delivered and checked for quality and safety. Inspection might include visual check for mold, moisture, foreign objects, or pests. Second, cleaning or washing. Garbanzo beans are thoroughly washed to remove dirt, dust, or surface contaminants. Blending. Washed beans are blended into a thick paste or batter to form the base of the keeping. Fourth, combining all ingredients. Additional ingredients are mixed into the garbanzo paste. Fifth, spreading on banana leaves. Mixture is manually or mechanically spread onto washed banana leaves to form thin layers. Sixth, cooking. The mixture on banana leaves is steamed or boiled to cook the garbanzo paste. Seventh, sun drying. The cooked keeping sheets are dried under the sun in a clean, controlled area. And lastly, frying. Dried keeping is deep fried to a crisp texture.
Product description. Stage step description. Material reception. Receiving of raw materials. Garbanzo beans are received from local market or supermarket. Materials are inspected for quality damage, pests, and contamination. Material storage. Storage of raw materials. Description. Garbanzo beans stored in clean, dry containers at freezer to maintain quality. Material processing. Blending. Description. Break the garbanzo beans using blender. Addition of ingredients. Description. Combine all ingredients and mix thoroughly. Spreading on banana leaves. Description. The batter is spread thinly onto clean banana leaf. Sun drying. Description. The cooked sheet are sun drying for 5 hours or until crisp and brittle. Frying. Description. Dried keeping sheets are fried in hot oil to puff them up and improve taste and texture. So, product releasing, storage of final product. Description. Fried keeping is packed in stand-up pouch packaging and stored in dry clean areas at room temperature. Dispatch and transport. Finished products are packed and distributed to market under proper condition to avoid contamination or damage.
So our next topic is the hazard and the CCP identification. First, we have receiving raw materials, hazards, contaminated or spoiled garbanzo beans, hazard class biological, chemical, and physical. Risk of medium, controls, approved supplier, visual check, and documentation validation. Decision tree is yes, no, no, yes, and while contamination of receiving could introduce hazards, the existing preventive controls are adequate. Since the hazards are controlled before entry, this step does not require additional CCP monitoring. Second, storage of raw materials. Hazards, mold growth or pest. Hazard class biological and physical with the risks of low. Controls is sealed containers in a dry area. Decision 3 is no, no, no. This is a low risk step because storage conditions are tightly managed. proper storage prevents mold or pest hazards effectively. There's no need for CCP as general GMPs or good manufacturing practices are enough. Third one is the blending. Hazard is the cross-contamination. Hazard class biological. Risk of medium. Controls cleaning, hygiene, and PPE. Decision 3. No, yes, no, no, not a CCP. Although cross-contamination is a valid concern, it's not likely to cause significant harm at this stage, especially when controls are effective and standardized. Since the hazards is manageable via prerequisite programs, it doesn't require CCP level attention. So we have addition of ingredients. Hazard is the allergen information. Hazard class is chemical. Medium risk controls is the label check, no cross contact. Allergen control is crucial, but level verification and ingredient control are usually covered under allergen management programs. If allergens are present but declared and isolated properly, CCP level monitoring isn't needed here. So 5, we have the spreading on banana leaves. Hazard is the foreign objects. Hazard class physical with the low risk. Washing and inspecting banana leaves is the control. Risk is low and the controls are effective. There's no critical threat if debris is found and removed before cooking, hence no need for CCP. So, for the 6th is the cooking. Hazard is the underheating, bacteria survival. Hazard class is biological. High risk controls is timer and thermometer. This is a definite CCP. Undercooking may allow pathogens to survive. Directly impacting safety, time, and temperature are critical factors, and this process needs strict monitoring and record keeping. 7. Sun drying, bacterial and mold growth. Hazard class is biological. High risk, controlled drying, sunlight exposure, time cracking is controls. So, drying under suboptimal conditions are encouraged bacterial mold or mold growth. Since the risk is high and no further step will eliminate these pathogens, drying must be a CCP with environmental and time controls. So, for the last one, the frying. Hazard is the undercooking oil contamination. Hazard class is biological and chemical. Risk is very high. The control is the proper oil temperature and time control. Frying is a final kill step, so it's critical both undercooking and chemical degradation of oil. Examples of this reuse or overheating are hazards. If frying is not done properly, it can leave residual pathogens and introduce toxic compounds. CCP is necessary.
The HACCP plan summary for garbanzo keeping outlines 3 critical control points essential in ensuring the safety and quality of the final product. Receiving raw materials, frying, and sun drying. Each CCP addresses a significant hazard and is accompanied by specific critical limits, monitoring procedures, corrective actions, and record-keeping measures. The first CCP na na-identify po namin is during the receiving of raw materials, where the significant hazard identified is contamination or unsafe garbanzo beans. Yung critical limit dito is pagtanggap lang ng malinis at food grade na garbanzo. When it comes to monitoring, ginagawa naman siya through visually and moisture readings. Performed by receiving personnel for every delivery. Sa corrective action naman, pag may mga materials na contaminated, nire-reject na siya. Sa verification, involves checking inspection logs and all findings are recorded in the receiving checklist to ensure na safe and high quality yung product. Yung pangalawang critical control point naman is frying, where the primary concern is bacterial survival if the product is undercooked. The critical limit is maintaining a temperature between 90 to 100 degrees Celsius for at least 2 to 3 minutes. Assign personnel monitor this using a timer or thermometer for every batch. When it comes to corrective action naman, if the product is undercooked, it must be refried or discarded. And any equipment issue must be investigated. Verification is done through daily log reviews and random sample testing to confirm the product meets safety standards. These measures are crucial in ensuring that harmful bacteria are eliminated during cooking. The third critical control point is sun drying, which addresses the risk of mold or bacterial growth due to high moisture content. The product must be dried until the moisture level is below or equal to 12%. Sa monitoring, kailangan i-check if tama yung drying time and sa texture ng bawat batch. If lumagpas ang moisture content sa limit, kailangan ulit-ulitin ang pag-dried or discard na siya. Verification is conducted using moisture meters and through random checks. And all results are logged in drying records. This step is vital in extending the shelf life of garbanzo keeping, while preventing spoilage and microbial hazards.